Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Let's go!
It is important that we recognise the great Josh Kennedy in his retirement yesterday. Of course, that was done when we would finishing up, so we never got a chance to speak to it. Everyone would have seen it on the news and in the paper.
I mean, it wasn't a surprise. There'd been talk that this coming match this weekend would be his swan song, but we hadn't had the official word from him yet.
No, he's been a star. That's an understatement, really. He's a Coleman medalist a couple of times. He's an All-Australian about 3 or 4 times.
He's West Coast's greatest goal kicker.
715 goals.
Premiership player.
How does one strategically pick the game which is going to be their swan song, Shaun?
Well, this one strategically, Nath, is because the West Coast Eagles don't have any more home games, so this had to be the last
one. What about for yours?
Mine was really getting to that point, and when I had a discussion with Halves, the right way for me was the Derby, because I played in the first one and all these other ones.
Yeah.
So that was and that was at the end of the year as well. I think we might have had one more home game for the year, but that was the one probably.
So say if you were to pick your game, and then does that guarantee they can't drop you that week?
100%.
How bad you are. To pull him off the bench.
Because I would think that the Eagles would want Josh Kennedy to play in the Derby the following week, which is not a home game. It's a Fremantle home game, so they can't do the fanfare and the festival around him. But is he going to play in that game or not?
He said he's not going to play in that game.
But we need him in that game.
I don't know if you do, Nat, because you kicked 16 goals against the Gold Coast Sun last week without Josh Kennedy, right? So
sure.
That's huge. I thought you would, right? So I thought he plays this game, it's all West Coast supporters and all the rest of it. But if he played against Fremantle in the following week, which is a home game of sorts, there's going to be West Coast supporters there.
Yeah.
But I tell you, every Fremantle supporter would just be all over him because he's an East Fremantle product anyway.
And he lives in South Freo.
Yeah. He's not a divisive character. Everyone knows how great a guy he is.
He's never upset anybody, has he?
It would rally. Everyone would rally behind him.
Yeah, and so they should, because he comes in here when we've had him.
He's very humble, isn't he?
Very, very humble. He's
just
had
a
a
normal
crack at different businesses on the way.
Country kid,
and he wears his beard really well.
He does.
He does.
You know what I mean? Sometimes people have got a beard and you go, I think you should shave that off. But for him, it's like, no, I like it.
I think it's working for you.
Kind of, the same thing with David Money. You get to the end of your career, everyone talks to you like you're a geriatric. When he shaves his beard off...
he's got 12.
Yes.
Yeah, what's under there?
You have a look at that. But I wanted to mention that...
You're Googling beardless Josh Kennedy.
So get a load of this. So Josh Kennedy, when he was drafted from East Fremantle, I was dropped that year, so I got to play with him. Paddy Ryder, who's still playing, one of the greats of all time. Andrew Swallow, who was North Melbourne captain, who played over 200 games, a shin boner from way back. And a guy called Mitch Clark, who was number 9 in that draft. There were 4 guys who came out
of East Fremantle that year.
And they all, after their Teal Cup days, or whatever it's called, under 18s, they went straight from under 18s from playing Colts, and then East Fremantle played them the last 5 or 6 games in the league team. Yeah. And you're just watching these young guys going, oh my Lord.
Yeah, they could do anything. Yeah.
And Josh is clearly... People used to go, we got Chris Judd went to Carlton, and we got who won the deal? Josh Kennedy, playing for West Coast, was easily the best deal. Yeah. Chris Marston was a part of that as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic.
We recruited our all-time highest goal kicker. Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yes.
And also, how long ago did Chris Judd retire?
All the years ago.
Exactly. And we've had all these extra years of JK. It's been amazing.
Love to catch up with him. Yeah, what do you reckon, Nate?
I can confirm. He looks amazing with a beard and without a beard.
Yeah.
That is the best. And with just stubble.
Yeah.
Dad, isn't that great to know whatever hair levels on your face, you look awesome. That's really nice. Well done. And you know why? Because he's a good person.
So is that his finest achievement?
I think so. I mean, I don't follow football, so yes. I'm going to say yes. I have my bell here, I ding it. But Annie's got it in her car.
Oh, what's this?
Well done to Josh Kennedy. Hopefully, there's no doubt the West Coast Eagles will celebrate a victory, in my opinion, and they'll celebrate him in the right way.
Oh, well, that's shot it in the foot.
Oh, what are you doing?
Why would you do that to my team? Why would you back them in? That's horrendous.
You know what? Win the wooden spoon.
You are a nasty piece of work. But on behalf of Shaun, I'd like to say he'd like to apologise for any inconvenience.
There's a lot of it.
This is Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
We've got more with our old mate, Scotty Cam from the block.
Okay, we're not going to go too hard on it because I've been told that you've been told that you're mouthing off about them too much. But the influencer couple, we've all read all the stories.
Yes.
To be completely honest, and this isn't in general to any influencers, so I don't want them to get insulted. But when I saw there was an influencer couple on here and I read about them, firstly, I rolled my eyes and thought, personally, I just think, I like it when I see just everyday Aussies on there that are battling, and these people do a post and get how many bloody products sent to them, and I just thought, they don't need the help. That was my personal opinion right at the start.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that as well, and really at the end of the day, the block's not for everybody, and you know, we don't wish them any ill, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I love working hard.
You just say what you want to
say. Mouth off, and
it's so funny.
And I had like 40 journalists in a room, and I mouthed off, and
they all wrote a story.
They're looking happy with what you're saying. I'm going, yeah, all right, I'm saying the right thing.
Yeah. Well, they all had a conniption. They busted pencils trying to write.
iPhones are blowing up in the notes section.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the thing is that, as I said, the block's not for everybody, but it's just a matter of you've got to ask them, if you can get a hold of them, ask them why they left the block.
And get what version.
Well, Joel's talking about his mum, isn't he, the whole time?
Yeah.
But they never ever, and I'm going to say it so Scott doesn't have to say it again, they never ever told anybody that works at the block that they needed to have time off. We've seen people's mothers pass, and you guys have shut down production.
Sick children.
We have seen it all.
Everything, and you've really looked after the contestants.
You've got a very high duty of care on the block, and that's a fact.
And you know, family absolutely comes first for us. As you said, we've shut the show down in the past for a week. And we've got like 150 people's jobs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stop. We're all stopping for a week and we'll reconvene a week later. We've done that in the past. And if anybody mentioned to us, I need to go and visit someone because of an issue, we'd be the first to whack them on a plane and off they go. And in fact, the contestants that replaced those guys, Rachel and Ryan, they're terrific people from Sydney. Of course, it was short notice for them. Their kids weren't settled, you know, like they left their kids quickly.
Yeah.
And so she said, my kids aren't settled. So we flew her home for 2 days.
Yeah.
Straight back to Sydney. You come back. We'll handle things here. Don't worry. As soon as you're ready to come back, you tell us and we'll fly you back.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, she came back.
Yeah.
So if you mention that to us, we're the first to fly you home or do something, look after you. But that never got mentioned to us.
Well, Scotty, just to let you know, I'm a bit unsettled. I haven't been in Bali for a couple of years. Is there any chance?
You can fly us to Bali.
I'll be flying you there tomorrow.
That's how good they are.
You care about people.
I know. And what time would you like to leave? And have you got oversized luggage?
Of course I have.
Hey, Scotty, we did a thing like a few weeks ago. I live in an apartment block, and there was a problem with the bin room door, right, at my apartment block. And what it was is, you know, there's just like the latch and hook that you have in a caravan.
Yes.
So basically, that had broken, and we asked our strata to give us a quote, and the quote came back for $495 to replace it.
Champion tradesman. Look at that. He's straight onto that.
Hey, you know who fixed it?
Me.
Did you?
I spent $11.40 on a hook, and then I went down there, and it took me 2 minutes to do it.
I think you might have got touched up with the $11.40.
Well, you can get trade prices. You're right. But
for about $4.
But we did have one tradie ring us up, and a lot of them actually disagreed. But this one bloke gave us a call and said that he sees there's nothing wrong with that quote, because when he prices quotes, he prices for what could go wrong rather than what the job is at hand.
That he doesn't know what he's walking into, that he doesn't know what's required, he doesn't know how many trips to Bunnings he's going to have to do.
So if nothing goes wrong, do you readjust the price and take it lower? And he goes, no, you just quote high. Talk to me.
Well, I just love the fact that you asked for a quote for that when it was 2 screws.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
Well, it's a strata.
That's the strata way.
So I intercepted this quote.
Yes, well done.
And went, not on my life will we be paying this.
No.
Yeah.
Look, probably it's a little bit steep, and you're right. You got to put your price up. You can't get in your ute, drive all the way there, find out what's going on, then go back to the hardware store, get some stuff.
But all the information was actually given.
Yeah,
Nathan had like all the photos, all
we
the
need this. This is the
lot.
job.
Yeah. So maybe just 100 might have been all
right. Yeah, your basic call-out fee.
Anyway,
would have done
so on that, I'm going to film it, and that'll be my application for the next season of The Block.
Yes, fantastic. It won't be you, it'll be whoever you're going with that will knock you back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like we'd say, we love you,
Yeah, but Shaun.
But your
Sean
teammate,
is
I don't know anything.
what an
kidding me?
albatross around your neck.
He's one of those hire a hubby people that to hang a picture. He's one of those people.
As in,
No, I told
he's
you.
not one of the hire hubbies. He's the one that needs the hire hubby.
Nah, Scotty, I've got neighbours around me, a couple of engineers, all retired people. So I go and knock on their door, and then I lead them over, and they go, "Oh, let me do it."
How many people ask you for favours? Like that knock on the door and say, "How can you just come and fix this for us, Scotty?"
Yeah, it used to be a lot in the old days. I tell you, I did have an old doctor, Doc Carmody, his name was. He's passed away now, unfortunately, but he was a terrific bloke. He was widowed and he by himself, and he was an old fella. And he'd ring me up 3 times a week. And he lived sort of near me. So I'd come to his house on the way home 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And I go, "What's up, Doc?"
Okay, yeah.
Well, he used to call me boy. And I'd say, "What's up, mate?" And he goes, "Oh, I want you to have a look at this." And I go in there and I have a look at it. And I go, "I'll tell you what, I think we can get to this another time. Let's have a cold one."
Yeah.
And a couple back those days I used to smoke. Let's have a couple of he used to smoke Kents.
Yes.
Let's have a couple of Kents and a couple of cold ones, mate.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, okay, let's." So I'd have a few beers.
Oh,
with
you
him.
were keeping him company.
Yes. And then 2 days later, he ring me again.
He was breaking things at
He
home so you would
was.
come round.
Anyway,
Take
I
the light
loved
glove
him.
out.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
The light's not working.
Yeah,
I go,
yeah.
I'll fix that tomorrow, Doc.
Anyway.
Let's have a beer.
He was
good on you,
killed
mate.
by the patio collapsing. The
Yes.
Scottish putting off. It was actually tragic.
I used to do some things for him every now and then. But three days a
Not
week
the
for about
patio.
5 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's
that's
a
so
beautiful
sweet.
thing.
That's awesome.
You know what? Everyone should really do that. If there's an old person
Yeah.
that's living by themselves and you can sort of feel like they've not got any
Go
visitors
around and drink their
there,
beer.
Go around there. Really try your hardest to get into the wheel.
And I used to, I'd get free Kents and cans of VB as well.
And
So
medical
yeah,
advice?
it's good all round.
Did you hit him up for medical advice? There you go.
And what happened was, this is a funny story. I was getting married, I think, at the time, and he bought me a electric knife.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, the
Remember
wet
electric
gun.
knife?
Electric
Yeah.
knife.
Because
still got
knives
one
are
in the
so
drawer.
hard to use.
And then one of his relatives is getting married, and I said, "Oh, you're getting him an electric knife, Doc?" He goes, "No, much better present than that." That's just for me.
Bless him.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you so much. It's so good to see you
Yeah,
in
it is
person.
lovely
It's
being
been so many years since it's
Yes.
been possible. So we can't wait until the block
I'm sorry,
returns
I'm
on
Googling
Sunday.
electric knives. I want to see if you can still get them.
You can.
7 o'clock.
I've got one.
We've got one. We've got one at home. Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yeah, use it.
What's for like carvery or something?
Yeah. So
do you
does
use yours
does
for?
a
But how old is
roast.
it?
A ham?
And does it plug in or is it cordless?
No, plug in.
Plug
in.
in.
Plug in.
How's it
Have
plug
you
in?
had it for 40 years? Or is this,
I
is this a wedding
I
present?
think you can pop down to Harvey Norman and pick one up today.
Yeah.
Breville.
Electric knife.
They got those different knives that you lock into each other
Yeah,
and then you bang
Electric
on.
that.
knife,
Yeah.
Harvey Norman. Here we go. Yes, and it does have a cord. Oh, come on.
At
Are we
this
living
day
in
and
a
age,
world where the
Everything's cordless?
No, we haven't moved on with the electric knife.
$44.
That's expensive.
That's
It's inflation.
Well, this one's $74.95.
Oh, la-di-da.
They call it the Carve Easy.
Did you think you'd be coming to a radio interview to talk about electric
Oh,
knives, Scotty?
it was bound to happen.
God, we have the budget to get these. We should get these and give some away this week.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We're discussing when you were forced to come clean, not through your own guilt,
No.
but for whatever reason. Somebody confronted you and you had to go, yes, okay, that happened.
Nothing
me.
worse than being backed into a corner
Exactly.
and forced to be honest.
Because our instinct is deny, deny, deny.
Of course.
It doesn't always work, does it?
Morning, Matthew.
Hello.
Morning, guys. How we doing?
Yeah, good man.
buddy.
What do you got for us?
So a few years ago, we were over in New South Wales at a country pub having a few drinks with the boys. And towards the end of the night, we've left, and one of our mates has sort of wobbled out rather stiff. Didn't know what was going on. He dived onto the back seat of the taxi.
Yeah.
When we got back to the hotel, he pulled out the drip tray from the bar. He shoved it down his pants and waddled out.
Just for gags.
The drip
The drip tray.
Of
Also,
all
The drip
things.
tray.
gross.
Of all things. The next day, we've gone back to the pub for some drinks,
Yeah.
and the managers pulled us aside and started accusing us of stealing this said drip tray.
Yes.
Of course, we denied and denied and denied.
Yes.
Eventually, I was pulled into the manager's office where he showed me CCTV footage
Damning.
of my mate putting this drip tray down his pants and waddling out. So I've gone out, told my mate they've got you. Luckily, the manager was pretty good about it. He had a good laugh. So we brought the drink tray back an hour later and carried on with drinks.
I love
Can I just
the audacity to go back to the same pub.
Yeah,
I know.
not
Yeah,
just that.
It was a small town. There wasn't many options.
Yeah, right.
But out of all the things to steal,
I know.
a drip tray. If you're going to steal something worth. God, I love people that steal stuff.
And something that's,
Oh,
if you're
mate.
going to put it down your pants, something that's not wet.
I made a mate go back of mine. It was at the bottle shop that's attached to the Queen's in Mount Lawley, and we were walking past and we're going to go to some event, and then he said, "Oh wait, there, let's just get a few drinks on the way." And I said, "No worries," and he's had a few already, so we pop in there, and then we've got no drinks or whatever, and then we've left, and we're walking down the street, and he's like got this biggest smile on his face, and I'm going, "What have you done?" And he stole their stapler, and I said, "Take it back."
That's always
So I
funny.
made him go back and hand it back to them and said, "I'm so sorry, my mate just took a stapler." And I don't know what did you want that for?
Just opportunity.
That's funny.
Opportunity.
He was so happy.
Thanks, Matthew. Jen is in Konana. Hello.
Good morning.
Hey, Jen.
We're talking about being forced to come clean. What happened?
So I used to work on a mine site, and we had a safety stop one day where basically the whole site got shut down, and we weren't really sure why. We thought someone, was hurt or something. And it turns out one of the dump truck drivers had taken his pants off. Now, apparently, to get a photo of his new tattoo on his leg.
Oh, yeah,
What
I'm
had
going with that.
happened?
I'm going with that,
Yeah, 100%. He'd pulled his pants down to his ankles, all good.
Yeah.
They'd gotten caught on a lever in the truck.
Yes.
And what had happened is it had lifted the tray of the truck up, and then his denim pants got wrapped around the lever, and they had to call the emergency services out to cut him out of his pants.
And so here he was in a dump truck with his pants
To
down.
cut him out of his pants, and all he could come up with was that, he was trying to take a photo of his
Yeah.
new tattoo.
Of course
Or he was.
Oh my
Did he have
God.
to come clean?
It would be so
Oh,
funny.
he absolutely did. The other thing was that they had no spare pants. They had to put him in a pair of women's pants. In itself, just comical. But then on top of that, that was maybe 2 years ago, and since then he's become a supervisor.
Oh!
Nobody ever will let him live that down. It's
Yeah.
still to this
Surely
day.
his nickname is just
Pants
Pants.
Down Friday.
Yeah,
Pants
no.
Down Friday.
Yeah.
It would be so funny though if you realise the lie you've gone through and you don't have a tattoo.
Tattoo.
So here you
Yes.
are with a ballpoint pen scribbling some
Yeah.
artwork on your leg.
Or you're burning your lighter in your
Yeah,
leg.
exactly.
Oh my God.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
We're talking about when you were forced to come clean, not because you wanted to,
No.
but because the
You had no other
situation
options.
or someone else backed you into a corner.
Morning, Mandy.
Good morning.
Morning.
Mandy.
Now, you obviously a very honest person, Mandy. What's this story about?
It's actually about my sister. She came to visit from South Australia
Yeah.
and came up for dinner one night. And she went off to see one of her sons. My husband had to fly out to the Eastern States that morning, and when he was up at 4 o'clock, came in and woke me up, told me to come outside. The whole front yard was absolutely covered from head to foot with Christmas baubles, like Christmas balls.
Yes.
Like it was hundreds and hundreds of them,
Yeah.
covered all over the place. So, I spent ages cleaning them all up, blamed my neighbour, sent her messages. She still denied doing it.
Blamed
With
my
something
neighbour.
to do with-
Sorry, wait there.
I'm the neighbour,
Why did you
absolutely
blame your
blamed her.
neighbour? Why straight away did you think that was my neighbour that's covered my yard in Christmas baubles?
Because it's just something she would do.
Okay.
Right.
We have a very good relationship in
Okay.
the neighbourhood.
All
So
right. Yeah.
basically I just kept accusing her of doing it. She kept denying it. And about 4 days later, the neighbour across the street pulled up his video camera footage
Yes.
from his external watching.
Security,
So
yeah.
he pulls, security, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, so he pulls up his security. Turns out it was my bloody sister. She'd gone back to to South Perth, picked up her blind son, can't see a thing. Two of them running like idiots all over my front yard, dropping all these balls. Then the security lights from the neighbourhood came on. So the two of them are buggering off into their car, and then she flew back to South Australia. And denied it until I could actually...
And denied. She just thought that would be a good prank.
I love
Yeah, well, she denied it until I could say that we had footage of it.
Did her blind son even know what he was doing? She probably said, decorate this tree. And he goes, all right. He probably thought he did a great job.
You wouldn't know the security lights cut on.
Yeah, exactly. No idea. Randy, thank you. What a story. Nat's in Morley. Hello.
Yeah, hi. How you going, guys?
Nat.
Good.
Now, were you forced to come clean that?
I was indeed. I was playing golf a number of years ago with a group of guys, and it was a particularly wet day out at Carramar, and I've come up over a hill and I'm getting to drive the buggy for a change.
Yeah.
And I've hit the brakes a little bit too hard, and I've done a 360 in the golf cart.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the guys, we had a bit of a laugh, and like, oh shit, that wasn't really great.
Yeah.
And we get to the next hole, and the greenkeeper comes flying up to us and starts yelling at the boys, and he's like, I should kick you off the course, you're irresponsible.
Because you tore it up. You tore it up.
Exactly.
But the boys
And
got the blame.
The boys got the blame, and I've gone, oh, look, I'm really sorry. It was actually me. I hit the brakes a bit too hard. And he's like, oh, that's okay, love. Just take it easy next time. And the boys are going,
Sometimes it
you
pays to be a
serious?
girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then the grandkeeper's walked off. He goes, women drivers. What do you expect?
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.